Ugly but effective for the Bengals here on Sunday in Nashville. Mike Petraglia inside Nissan Stadium. Bengals walk away and walk out of Nissan Stadium with a 37-27 win. Their second straight, only the second time this year they have recorded back-to-back victories. They beat the Giants and Browns in consecutive weeks back in October, and they beat the Dallas Cowboys on Monday night and follow that up with a win here on Sunday afternoon in a game that can be summed up in one word: sloppy. The two teams combined for 10 turnovers, with Tennessee committing 6 of those turnovers, and the Bengals converting that into 24 points. A big reason the Bengals were able to walk out of here with a victory. Also, between the two teams, there was a whopping 26 penalties in this game. The 10 turnovers between the two teams, by the way, the most in an NFL game since 2007 between the Detroit Lions and the Minnesota Vikings. But the Bengals come away with the victory. They were able to find a way to score in a multitude of ways, either directly on defense or turnovers that the defense created that led to offensive touchdowns. Geno Stone had a pick six, his first NFL touchdown. That came in the third quarter, made it a 31-14 game. Then on the next possession, it looked like the Bengals were going to score again off a turnover. Jordan Battle recovers a fumble and returns it 61 yards, or should I say 60 and a half yards, because in the final half yard right before the goal line, he lost control of the football, fumbled it out of the end zone for a touchback. So on that one play, you had 2 turnovers. Again, a reason that this game was so sloppy. You had turnovers galore, but the Bengals were able to come away with the victory. Sam Hubbard had a touchdown in this game. He was the first player to score a defensive touchdown on offense since Bengals rookie season of 1968. Of course, he had the fumble in the jungle during the 2022 playoffs, but this was the first time a Bengals defensive player scored on offense since 1968. But on that play, Sam Hubbard injured his knee when he fell hard to the artificial turf here at Nissan Stadium. He did speak to us after the game. He said he was waiting on Zach Taylor and Joe Burrow to give him that chance that they had been working on in practice. He made a terrific catch on the ball, a catch that made it 14-14 at the time in the second quarter. But again, he landed hard on his knee. He thinks it may be a PCL injury, but team will have to get back to Cincinnati, and he'll have to get back to Cincinnati to see exactly what the extent of the knee injury is. Joe Burrow, after the game, he was not a happy camper. Yes, they won the game. Yes, he threw 3 touchdowns, at least 3 touchdown passes now for Burrow in 6 consecutive games. But he also threw 2 interceptions and lost a fumble. And there were a multitude of penalties by the Bengals offense. Certainly Devin Cochran filling in for the ill Cody Ford, who was filling in for the injured Orlando Brown Jr. Bengals did a reputable job along the offensive line. They did commit a few penalties. Zach Taylor acknowledged that after the game, some things that they certainly have to clean up. But when you look at things, it could have gone a lot worse for the offensive line coming into this game, when you know you not only had your starting left tackle out, you had your backup left tackle out. But again, the Bengals made it through and won this game 37-27. Jordan Battle, after the game, about his ill-fated fumble return that would have been a touchdown, he said, "I was just trying to switch it from my inside hand to the outside hand. It was not intentional. It won't happen again." Also, after the game, Geno Stone said on his interception return for a touchdown, it was something he noticed on film. The Lions had a pick six against Will Levis and the Lions and the Titans, and they were able to repeat that, was Geno Stone this afternoon. A big reason the Bengals were able to win the game. A very bizarre game here at Nissan Stadium, but the Bengals do win it by a score of 37-27. They'll be back more on a normal routine this week as they get ready for the Cleveland Browns next Sunday in the penultimate home game for the 2024 Cincinnati Bengals. They'll play the Cleveland Browns, followed by the Denver Broncos, and then the final game of the year at Pittsburgh against the Steelers. We'll have you covered on the X at Trags, TRAGS. Also, be sure to follow my content online, CLNSCincy with a Y.com, as well as the Coming up, podcast with Skinny, Local 12 Skinny. It's the Jungle Roar Skinny Bengals postgame pod coming up on YouTube. That's youtube.com/@JungleRoarPod. Final again here in Nashville. The Bengals 37, the Titans 27. Inside Nissan Stadium, Mike Petraglia, CLNS Media.